surprised that so many people, I shouldn't say so many, but there were people that were almost angry that you were on OnlyFans.
To be honest, I didn't read a lot of the things that people were saying. I was going through my second divorce and I was really bottomed out. And being able to launch this type of site for me, I mean, it may not be what people think it is, like
Right.
OnlyFans. I think it got a reputation from what I hear because there were a couple documentaries of girls that are in the adult entertainment business that use OnlyFans. But that's not necessarily what it's for. And that's not necessarily what people do on there. And I mean, I'm certainly not an adult entertainer, and I'm not looking to be an adult entertainer. But I wanted a way to connect with my fans. I wanted a way to put myself out there again.
Welcome to Ricardo Questions, where I always question the narrative. Let's get into it. That was Shannon Elizabeth, best known as Nadia from American Pie, explaining why she joined OnlyFans. Notice the framing right away. She's careful to distance herself from the platform reputation. It may not be what people think it is. I'm certainly not an adult entertainer. The emphasis is on connection. A fresh start after a divorce, reconnecting with the fans after years of relative isolation in South Africa. But we'll come back to how convincing that framing is. But first, the bigger picture. What we're looking at is a growing pattern here, which is older semi-retired Hollywood women who once defined a certain era of mainstream sex appeal, turning to OnlyFans. Shannon Elizabeth, Denise Richards, well, in Denise's case, the pattern continues into the next generation with her daughter. These aren't struggling unknowns. These are women who already had fame, name recognition, and a built-in audience. So the question isn't just why OnlyFans, is why now? And what does that move actually reveal about the attention, leftover fame, and female incentives in the current marketplace? And that's what this video is about. Well, let's get into it.
My understanding is, yes, there have been adult entertainers that use it for other types of adult entertainment. But everyone can do what they want with it. It doesn't mean that that's what it was built for and that's what you're doing if you're on there.
True. I mean, you could be sharing recipes or poetry, but mostly it's men masturbating. Which is not wrong. There is a need for masturbation.
I don't know that that's what's happening. Not when I'm chatting to him. I mean,
Well, you're not even naked,
when
right?
people, no, not necessarily.
But see, that can even.
Not necessarily. Yeah, just own it. That's all I ask. Just own it. But yeah, let me just continue on with the video.
I haven't decided exactly where my boundaries are going to be. I've just started. It's only been a couple months. So where my boundaries
outrageous,
are,
right?
The launch is always really good, and then it becomes a steady thing. But it's not about that for me. It's really connecting with people and being able to share. Because I was never good at filming myself and putting it out there. In fact, I pulled so far the other way because you go to dinner and everybody's on their phone. So I pulled this way where I was like, I'm never going to be on my phone at dinner when I'm with friends. I'm never going to be that person. And then I would forget to do any content. I would just forget. It wasn't on my radar. And for years I've said, I need to start doing content. I need to start sharing. I want to put this out there. And so finally, I never really could make myself do it with Instagram. But with OnlyFans, I've hired some people that have helped me keep me intact, keep me focused, so that they always say, okay, we need to know what you're doing this week. We need your content. And it just keeps me going. It reminds me if I start forgetting, then I do that. And then I go on and I chat with people.
Now, is it possible that in the...
All right, I'm going to pause it there. This is the moment where the gap between branding and reality shows up. Shannon insists that she's not an adult entertainer and that she hasn't even decided where her boundaries are yet. And Bill Maher replies blunt. Whatever else is happening on the platform, the overwhelming use case is still men paying for sexual content and sexual attention. She's not wrong that the platform can be used for other things, but the market is very clear about what it actually rewards. Come on, a little bit of common sense here. But let's continue on.
Future, after this drops, and millions of people enjoy this, that someone calls you up on OnlyFans. Again, I don't really know how it works, but I mean, there must be more people each day wanting to talk to you than you could possibly talk to.
Well, I mean,
right?
and those are that's the only relationship I need, are the relationships on OnlyFans that I'm building with all of these people I don't need.
I'm asking about the mechanics.
The mechanics.
I get it, the fans. It's beautiful. I want to know about the mechanics.
Okay.
Like, there must be more people every day who want to talk to you, right, on OnlyFans, than you could possibly talk to.
Sometimes.
In a single day.
Yeah, of course.
So what happens how do you decide? How do you triage the ones who get to talk to you versus the ones who don't?
I have an assistant that helps me.
What's
because,
the criteria?
Like you say that I can't do it all. We try to get to everybody.
Really?
Yes.
Everybody?
Yes, absolutely.
How many hours can it take on a typical day?
Well, that's, I can't reveal all my secrets.
Really? That's a secret?
Yeah. I mean,
how many hours?
Yeah,
What's
because every day is different. And sometimes it's on the go, in the car, as I'm traveling, on the plane.
You can do it in the car?
Absolutely. As long as I can get online. So if I've got cellular, then I can do it.
Okay. I mean, that's surprising to me.
All right, let's break that down. The volume is high enough that she needs an assistant. Wow. She's answering messages in the car, on planes, whenever she has signal. This isn't some casual side project here. This is a real job built around managing male attention at scale. That's what this is. Whether the content is fully nude or provocative, whether she's calling it connection or something else, the product is being sold is access to her attention and the fantasy that comes with it. Shannon launched at the moment where her Hollywood career was fading, but the name recognition was still there, and OnlyFans offer a direct way to monetize both. When you look at the numbers and the daily reality, it suggests that she clearly understood the opportunity well enough. Just saying. Now, I do want to show you a quick clip from Rob Henderson, who happens to be a psychologist, and he tends to focus on social and evolutionary psychology. Let's take a look at what he has to say about OnlyFans.
I don't have hard evidence for this, but I was building on something that Louise Perry had written. I believe this was in the Spectator. She was kind of riffing on this idea of OnlyFans and how sexual attention for women can be as satisfying as actual sex can be for men. So men really like to have sex, women really like sexual attention, and these can be sort of equally powerful incentives. And in the context of OnlyFans, it's this supernormal stimulus in the way that porn is for men. So porn, you get novelty, all these different naked women and so on. It's very exciting for men, whereas OnlyFans as a creator can be very exciting for women because you're getting huge amount of sexual attention from thousands of men, and all of them are praising you and telling you how beautiful you are. You could imagine this would be extremely enjoyable for some women.
Rob is building something that Louise Perry wrote in The Spectator. Perry is a British journalist and the author of the case against the sexual revolution, by the way. He points out something very basic here, which is men tend to chase sex and women tend to chase sexual attention. Both can be extremely powerful incentives. Porn is a supernormal stimulus for the male side, endless novelty, and OnlyFans is the parallel for the female side. It delivers high volume of male sexual attention, praise, and validation that will be almost impossible to get in normal life. Very true. Actually, here's a passage from Perry's article in The Spectator. Let's take a look. Image-based social media is a supernormal stimulus for women, particularly young and attractive ones. Posting a sexy selfie is a guaranteeing means of attracting sexual attention from men and you go girl compliments from other women. OnlyFans then goes a step further, giving women access to the sexual attention and money of hundreds or even thousands of men. So, once you see it that way, Shannon move to OnlyFans makes a lot more sense. It really does. When mainstream Hollywood stops supplying that same level of attention and status, well, the OF platform that monetize residual fame and male validation becomes the logical next step. It really does. Which brings us to our next example, Denise Richards and her daughter. Same platform, same dynamic, but this time it runs across 2 generations in the same family. One was already a recognizable Hollywood name, and the other was just 18 when she started. Well, let's take a look at what they have to say.
I think what made me start OnlyFans in the beginning is because I really wanted to get an apartment, and I knew that working at the candy shop I was working at wasn't gonna cut it. So I went to the next best thing and made an OnlyFans. It opened so many doors for me, and I've met really cool people doing it, and it's been really nice and rewarding being my own boss and making my own hours and being able to do the things I've always wanted to do. So yeah, it's going really well.
How do you both feel about your mom opening up an account?
I think it's great. I always just tell her I wish she waited a little bit because she started it right after I did. But yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. Lola might say something else.
Whatever she makes.
I don't know what more I could do. In my career, I've done so many different things, you know, and so I really did it because I didn't understand what OnlyFans was. And that's the truth. Like, I was so uneducated about it. I had heard of it, but I didn't know what it was. And when I saw that Sami was getting so much backlash, it really upset me as a mom and also as a woman in this business because I've done roles where I have been, you know, I did Starship Troopers, very conservative and a totally different role from, this was very beginning of my career. And when I did Wild Things, totally 2 different roles, and people could judge either one. And so, and then after Wild Things, and then to be perceived as a sex symbol and doing photo shoots for that, and people can have an opinion about that. I didn't want, it bothered me that she was getting backlash for owning her own sexuality and her being a woman and doing what she wanted to do. And that's why I joined it. I didn't understand it before, and then I quickly learned, but that's ultimately why I did it. And I kind of made a sort of a joke about it. I posted something when she did join, when she was, people were making comments, because it's hard because she's so young, and she was 19 or 18 when she joined.
I just turned 18 when I started.
She was 18 years old.
It was
And
crazy.
for me, I thought, oh my gosh, for her at 18 to have people have negative comments about her, it really bothered me. So that's why I, you know, decided to do it.
Sami version is straightforward. She wanted an apartment. The candy shop wasn't going to get her there. She likes being her own boss and setting her own hours. Fair enough, fair enough. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is not a family struggling financially. These are not people living paycheck to paycheck. So the pure I needed money framing doesn't fully land. It just doesn't. What does land is the rest of the package. An 18-year-old girl who gets to curate her beauty, receive constant stream of male attention and validation, make money, and stay in control of the content. That's what it is. Now, for any young man that's watching me, listen to what I'm about to say. From the female perspective, that checks almost every box. Let me say that again. From the female perspective, that checks almost every box. Attention, status, independence, and cash all in one platform. That's what it is. Now, as for Denise, explanation is a little bit more layered. She says that she didn't really understand OnlyFans at first. What pushed her was watching her daughter take a backlash. She didn't like seeing her 18-year-old judged for owning her sexuality. So she joined too. I can believe that. I can believe the maternal instinct here. A lot of mothers would feel protective in that situation. But 2 things can be true at the same time. Yes, she may wanted to pull some of that heat off from her daughter, but at the same time, Denise Richards was a major sex symbol for years. Just take a look at Wild Things and the photo shoots that she did. When the opportunity appears to monetize residual fame and step back into the attention stream, it's hard to believe pure solidarity here. So it just, it really is. It just really is. I don't mean to be insensitive, but protecting her daughter and taking advantage of the same marketplace can be both operating at once here. Just saying. And that's the pattern. That's the pattern that I'm seeing here. These official reasons are independence, connection, and solidarity. But the underlying incentives are attention and validation and the chance to keep monetizing a certain kind of desirability that Hollywood no longer supplies at the same level. Just saying. Now, as for my closing thoughts, so what's the pattern here? Well, older Hollywood women with residual fame and name recognition are turning into OnlyFans. The official language is connection, independence, or solidarity. Bull. The underlying driver is more consistent. When mainstream attention dries up, the platform that still pays for male sexual attention and validation becomes the rational move. We saw it with Shannon Elizabeth carefully distancing herself from the adult entertainer label while still operating inside the attention marketplace. We saw it with Denise Richards and her daughter entering the same space across 2 generations. The incentives are clear. They really are. Attention is currency and validation is reward. Attention is currency and validation is reward. OnlyFans is simply one of the most efficient ways to collect both, once traditional Hollywood stops providing them at the same level. And that's the narrative worth questioning. Thank you for watching the video. Until next time, take care and good luck out there.